there's all kinds of different dangers. There's no shortage of those, but the primary concern is to make sure that avalanches themselves we're not exposed to them. Most of the places we ski are typically avalanche terrain of one sort or another. You're kind of between a rock and a hard place. Where the best skiing lives, so do the biggest avalanches. This part of what we're going to do here now is about the helicopter and some of the things that we have to do to stay safe around it.
When you start heli skiing, whether it's your first time or your 20th time, you spend about 2.5 hours of classes about helicopter safety, about avalanche rescuing.
And the close, make sure it's in the open position.
On the first morning we cover right off to start with. We try and give them a bit of an eye-opener about what it's about. And that generally comes right with a DVD or a video.
With the main search.
Locate with the fine search.
We do what we call a transceiver practice before we go out, and that's where we use avalanche transceivers, which is a little radio beacon that transmits and receives, and everyone wears one so that if anybody were to get buried, we would have the ability to find them by using the other beacons in order to do that. If you count them until it turns to full second intervals, you will find that you're actually doing a battery check.
Ken's safety briefing includes every aspect of avalanche danger, even how to react if you're caught in one.
You can swim in it, perhaps, and that there's no particular stroke that works. It's just a matter of fighting to stay on the top. Okay. And apart from that, for the most part, luck has got to be on your side, and that's what it's about. The smartest thing you can do is not get into avalanche conditions in the first place. Out here, we've had an avalanche. We don't know how many are involved. Everybody go to receive. You're not there already.
Right here.
What setting are you on?
Lowest.
The lowest? Move it right down to the ground and back and forth and see where it's loudest.
There it is.
Okay.
Just saved 2 people's lives.
Hey, fool.
I pity the fool.
The object, of course, is not to get buried in the first place. Beacons are a way to find somebody quickly. But if you wound up going down through the forest or in steep over cliffs, a beacon is only going to help you find a body. You know?
Given all the serious talk involving avalanches, we asked Ken just how dangerous is this sport?
The risks are not, it's not death-defying stuff, but when you look at the fact that we are in big mountains all winter long, with, in this case, where we work here, we've got 5 groups of skiers and 2 helicopters working the whole time. So for the most part, although avalanches are probably our biggest single danger, the exposure to them is relatively small. But anyway, that's our direction. Let's go for it, either side of my track.
For me, the guides seem, I have a lot of respect for the guides, and their primary concern is safety. I think for me, my biggest concern is missing a turn and hitting a tree. I'm more concerned about that than avalanches or the helicopter.
Another great thing that the guides do is they do not take any risk. They will tell you where to ski, where is the safest, and that's their priority. So you can really enjoy the sport.
Off we go.
We're skiing in the trees because it's much safer, at least for yesterday it was, and probably today will still be the case. But a good thing about skiing in the trees is the powder is just amazing. The powder is fluffy, it's light, it's undisturbed, there is no wind also, and the sun basically doesn't hit the powder as much, and it keeps it really, really great.
The trees are a little more fun because you have to kind of turn and find your own way, and it's not just turning anywhere you like. So it takes a little more, adds a little more challenge to it. And also in the trees it tends to be steeper, and that's always more fun.
typical early skiing day is quite intensive. First you wake up, you have to stretch out for about an hour, then you have a quick breakfast, you leave, and you go on the hills. They pick you up at the usually at the base where the airport. It's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes run with the chopper. Land, they don't stop the engine, they let you out, and then the chopper goes away, go pick up the other group. And you have to follow the guide because they usually say stay in my tracks, because on one side there's a cliff and the other side there's not a place to ski, so you have to follow him and you just go down and get the powder in your face.
Today is a fantastic day, and we had clear blue skies, we had powder snow.
Well, at the end of the day, when you finish skiing and you got your legs sore and you're pretty tired, one of the spots we go when we finish skiing is you land and you go to the hot spring, which is hot water coming from the mountain. But it's just amazing, and you got the mountain and the trees, and you're in the middle of nowhere. So, and then you have a very nice dinner with a bottle of wine. You don't exaggerate because you have a big day the next day. You're just finished, so you have to be in top shape the next morning.